Marko Arnautovic produced a man of the match display to shock champions Chelsea and earned David Moyes' first win as West Ham boss. The £25 million Austrian, the Hammers club record capture, finished off a superbly worked move in the 6th minute to stun Antonio Conte's side. The strike for Arnautovic was his first since moving to the London Stadium in the summer. It was also his first in the Premier League since April 15, when he was still at Stoke. After a nightmare run under Slaven Bilic, Moyes' boys were organised and hard-working, continuing the favourable impression they created, despite being beaten, last week at Manchester City. Alvaro Morata blew Chelsea's biggest chance with just 8 minutes left when he fired wide from 10 yards. Victory for West Ham, who move up to 18th. Was only their third in 22 Premier League matches against Chelsea. For Conte it ends a 7-match unbeaten run and leaves his side 11 points behind leaders City, who face derby rivals United tomorrow. Here's 5 talking points from the game. Even at 11 points behind, you wouldn't write off a team of his quality or a manager of his class. Especially the way that they made their critics look like mugs last season. But Chelsea look to have it all to do now. They conceded early, struggled to break West Ham down and looked a team in need of some freshening up. Conte's bench looked weak. We already know that he doesn't fancy Michy Batshuayi. And questions have to be asked as to why Chelsea started so slowly against a side that were always going to be bang up for it. They are still in the Champions League of course and will a force to be reckoned with in the cup competitions. But right now they have it all to do in the Premier League title race. As reported in the Daily Mirror last Monday, Hart started this match on the bench and had better get used to his place there. His belief has remained high, but the feeling at the club is that that belief is writing checks that his current level of ability cannot cash. David Moyes has had a chance to have a look at him and has not been impressed by what he has seen. Hart's World Cup chances look bang in trouble. It will be interesting to see whether he decides to take decisive action in January. A superb finish from West Ham's record signing, and about time considering the £24 million paid for him in the summer. The strike was his first for the club and his first in the Premier League since 15 April, when he was still at Stoke. Hammers owner David Sullivan has been scathing about what he had seen since August, blaming Slaven Bilic for Arnautovic's arrival. The player is now another with big decisions to make. Either he maintains this standard to change some opinions at the London Stadium, or he too could be forced to examine his options in January. Could this spell, ironically, be the period in which rebuilding of David Moyes' reputation? The spent over a decade earning the respect of everyone within the game with his work at Preston and Everton, only to see his nightmare spell as a manager coincide the rise of the social media generation. His reigns at Manchester United, Real Sociedad and Sunderland all saw his stock plummet. West Ham was widely regarded as a last-chance saloon for his managerial prospects in the Premier League. A side previously shambolic under Slaven Bilic, however, suddenly look organised, efficient and hard to beat again. His partnership with Eden Hazard is currently the most productive in the Premier League. Not today. West Ham denied him time, space and the ability to combine with his Belgian brother-in-arms to hurt them. Morata has been involved in 13 goals for Chelsea in his first 14 Premier League appearances, scoring 9 goals and supplying 4 assists. His next goal will be his 50th in the top flight, taking in spells in Spain, Italy, and England. He'll have to wait until Huddersfield on Tuesday to try and get it.